Because of COVID-19, we probably have fallen victim to many of the previous vices we have managed to overcome. And that begs the question to ask, what is a vice? Because you might conceive of sex as a vice, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. Before, they considered chastity a virtue, and they would call women who had sex like whores and shame them publicly. But today, we know that that's not the case. So vices from before are not necessarily true, but we still inherit them because of social norms. Like these moral values that are inherent within communities, and we just implement them. And there comes video games.
Cuidado, ahí se va a dar un mod. Dude,
I am a person full of contradictions because on one hand, I like to do game development, and in another hand, I have trouble playing video games. Now, why is that the case? Probably because I used to play a lot when I was a kid. When you're a kid, you really don't have a lot to do. You know, there's not really much going for you. You know, you're just a meatball waiting for someone to tell you, hey, it's your time to shine, man. It's time. You're 18. Go do shit. Go do shit, you know? So during that period of my life, I would just play video games. I wasn't really aspiring for anything. And video games was like a means to aspire for something. You know, you want that prestige, you know, in Call of Duty. You want to get that swarm on Black Ops 2 and play League at, like, get your alarm ready. Turn that alarm at 1 a.m. Play them games. Your parents are about to wake you up. You turn the game off. You act like you're sleeping. They wake you up. Let's go to school. You go to school and you end up sleeping in the hallways. And your friends put up a fort of book bags on top of you because you ended up sleeping. But the boys who also play with you, they're also sleeping on other corners, you know? In our youth, video games was a thing for most of the demographic that is watching, the age demographic. But throughout time, you must do other things, right? The age 18 comes through and now you got to do other stuff. And not just that, but you've been told, because I remember when I was a kid, my parents used to scream at me, my dude, you're wasting your life playing video games. But the point is, we inherently incorporated this idea that video games are addicting. Well, not that video games are addicting, that video games are have a negative connotation to them. I don't even know what connotation means, but I feel like that's the word. So this past week, I tried playing games again, and I learned a couple of things. Like I learned when I'm wasting my time playing video games and when I'm actually using video games like a form of refreshment from the daily self-sacrifice. And a lot of it had to do with who you were playing with. I had the sweaty friends and the fun friends, and I only learned about the fun friends yesterday when I played like for at most an hour with them. But with the sweaty friends that I had, some of them just play because they value the game as a form of like, if I'm good at the game, I'm good at life. I would play with these people without the expectation of having fun, but rather the expectation of having a win. That is not to say I did not enjoy myself. I did in many occasions, but usually everything was underlined with the let's get that W, as if getting a W in the game meant somehow that we were good at something in life. And like, if you're a competitive video game player, then fucking you have to get that W, and you know, you have to get the kills. But like, if you're just there to relax and refresh yourself, then there's a contradiction there. Because on one side you're playing to have fun supposedly, but on the other side you're playing to win. So like, what are you winning at the end of the day? Like false gratification in a way. But thankfully I was able to manage in the most part. Usually I would have just gone deep in the rabbit hole and just play and die and fucking lose myself in that world, you know? Like I would see the sun come up, come back down, come back up, and I'd still be playing that Fortnite. No, I didn't play that game. No, I did a little bit. My thing was League. Anyway, yesterday, out of the blue, one of my close friends in real life, who I've seen very rarely after high school, he called me up like, hey man, let's play. He was in Warzone. I saw him. We tried to fix the game together, but we couldn't find the right time. But this time we did. He called me up. We played. I'm in the lobby, and immediately my old friends pop up. And I'm like, oh shit! So, like, some of my friends from high school are playing with me. And the other friends, the sweaty friends that I play with, they're also from my high school, and I would play with them in a sweaty way. But I've rarely played with these other guys, who are also my friend, and we would just around in high school. We would just do stupid dares and whatever. So I started playing with them, and I immediately noticed that the purpose isn't to get the win. The purpose is to around the same way we used to around when we were kids. Like this one time my friend had to YouTube like where the hell the bunker was. And we ended up running around, and when we found the bunker, I'd never seen that shit. I didn't even know that was there. Some other guys came up. One of my friends RPGs him because he was obsessed with that RPG. Boom, takes them down, and it turns out they have a red card, which allows you to enter these bunkers. So I'm like, what? And then my friend's like, then let's go to the other bunker. So we go to the other bunker. No reason at all. We just fucking do it. There's no plan. Anyway, we fucked around for so long during that match that we ended up winning. The first time we played together, we won.
En flow state.
El flow state.
En flow state, estamos en flow state.
Pa' acá. Sí, pero vente para allá.
Hay uno ahí, oíste.
Mira ahí. Hizo.
Adentro, tranquilo.
Mira, está uno abajo. Aprovecha,
Lo cogí.
Luego queda uno. No. Queda uno. Medio, cógelo.
And that wasn't even our goal. Our goal was just to fuck around and have fun. And we fucking won. And I was like, what the fuck? On one side, you have the sweaty friends who are trying to get that W in really fast. But on the other ones, you have the ones who are just trying to have fun. And you're really winning when you're playing with the ones who are just trying to have fun. Because you're playing video games as a form of therapeutic thing, you know, to relax. Or to learn something if it's a rich story game. Which is why I do game development. Because I want to do rich. Like, I want to make a game a form of therapeutic process, like watching a film that changes you. You know, I want that, but for a game. And The Last of Us is a beautiful example. That fucking thing is a piece of art that will fucking remain for the next 1,000 years as a Shakespearean. Anyway, dude, I have to remind myself that I'm outside. There's people watching. Anyway, so I was surprised, and I kept playing with these guys, and I couldn't manage not to smile. All the time I was just smiling. And then out of the blue, he said, well, I gotta go. Gotta take a shower. See you guys. I'm like, what does that mean? Gotta go. The fuck does that mean? We just started. It's like, what, an hour of warm-up? My other friends were like, okay, let's go. And everybody left. I was fucking surprised. Because usually me and the sweaty friends would just go in, deeper. Because the goal was to feel good about yourself through playing a fucking game and getting a W. Whilst these other guys, they didn't give a fuck about the game. They were just trying to have fun. So after like 40 to 50 minutes, I don't know, like they just said, hey, okay, let's go. And they left. And I was left in the lobby like, what just happened? So that really like got me thinking like about playing games just to chill, to relax, not to be sweaty. Or if you like being sweaty, but like knowing that you're just being sweaty because it's your character. It's not because of you value this game as a form of accomplishment. You're just naturally sweaty, and that's okay. But if you're sweaty because you're associating this game as a form of giving yourself value in life, then I think that's a problem, because it's an illusion until we figure out virtual reality, baby. Then I'm out of here, man. I'm going to the medieval realm, man. I'm picking up that sword, man. I'm gonna kill that dragon. I'm out, honestly, if they figure out hardcore Sword Art Online VR. Anyway, yeah, so that was my experience. I learned if I'm gonna play, I play to relax myself, to have an experience in a game, learn something, and not to play to find this illusion of accomplishment. And also about the people you play with, and overall the people you surround yourself with. Like, if you, like, by fact, if you're surrounded in your life right now, if you are surrounded by a bunch of people who their thing is going to the gym or rock climbing, that's gonna be your thing, because you don't change a group of people change you. The people you surround yourself are like a map of who the f*** you are in a way. Ultimately, we fall back into these vices, and we're not able to maintain these ideas we deem perfect in a way. Only like fucking warriors are able to maintain that ideal, like Marcus Aurelius. And he had this ideal of only doing that which is right, and then he exclusively did that. That's so fucking hard, because usually we're shades of ideals. We're not exclusively one ideal, like, oh, I'm a loving person. No, motherfucker. There's someone in your life who will press different buttons and will f you up, and you'll feel hatred towards that person. So we're shades of ideals, but only like I think only like really strong people, like willfully strong people, is that the word, have singular like philosophical ideals, and are able to maintain that, manifest it exclusively. And I've always wanted a group of friends who like rock climbing, but instead of rock climbing, it's like that, like expending yourself as much as possible within whatever, like just doing your self-sacrifice. Like, I'm derailing now. I think that's it. Yeah, have a good day, guys. Good week. Signing out.